Hello guys, Pichax here. So in this short video, I want to show you how the smart money concept strategy I taught in the two previous video made us about $4,000 in the last week. Just very simple strategy. You will remember that I told us that the most important thing when you trade smart money concepts is to look for the inducement you are trading away from. What smart money guys call liquidity grab. I told us that a lot of people are more concerned about MSU, and I mentioned to us that why MSU, this MSU pattern, a lot of people are interested in it, right? Now, I mentioned to us that it has its place, but MSU only makes sense when you have clearly identified the inducement that you are trading away from. And then I also mentioned that one good combination is to combine liquidity grab or the inducement you are trading away from, combine it with MSU or combine it with range, really, because once you have been able to identify the inducement you are trading away from, price will move range to range until it gets to the final destination. So let's look at it and I will show you the trade. We took this particular trade, right? And over here, the first thing I identified was this inducement. Price grabbed this liquidity below. So price was moving something like this, right? Price on the higher time frame, and price grabbed this liquidity that was below. So I knew that price was going to go up. And if you check at this point, there seemed to be like an MSU pattern, right? It's still inducement anyways, an MSU pattern, and that inducement now made sense. Price did this and went higher. This was basically what happened, but that happened because I have first of all identified the inducement I was trading away from. Meanwhile, I want you to also know that I'm not just trading pattern. There were other things I look out for, like timing, that played out in this case scenario. But for now, I'm just explaining the smart money concept. So look at this inducement has been cleared. Then I saw my range here. My range, there was a range that that was appearing at this. Some people call it range, some people call it smart money concept pattern. There was a range that was that was here. So you would see that this was like an inducement here, right? Inducement here with that range. And what did it finally do? What it is very simple. This is my liquid, and this is my order block, higher time frame POI that was trading from, and you don't need to do 15 arrow. 3 arrow is enough for you to be profitable, and that was it for me. Yeah, I took this trade and then we did this 1 to 4, and that was it. You don't need to trade 1 to 15 arrow, 100 arrow. That's another madness that needs to stop in the SMC community. You don't need 100 arrow for it to be profitable. So this was the first trade that we took. I'm going to show you the result. Another one we took was, I think it was in AUDNZD. I hope I still remember. Is it that? Let me check. AUDNZD. I hope that's the right one. Yes, exactly, AUDNZD. So basically, of course, I saw something on the higher time frame, right? I saw something on the higher time frame. Like I mentioned, I trade liquidity cycle, so there are some things I'm looking out for. But anyways, price did something like a build up of liquidity around this place, and it was reacting from a higher time frame supply zone, higher time frame demand zone. Like I mentioned, there are some things I'm looking out for, but higher time frame demand zone was here. And look at this is what is interesting. You would see that price movement was in this way, right? So price moved high up here, came down, move here, only for price to take away this inducement here. So you see that after price has taken away this liquidity, we were within this range, and this range had not yet been completed. We were within this range that had not yet been completed. So what I saw was that I saw price movement in this format just to complete the range, and that was what happened. We just went to complete the range, and that was what happened. So you see that it's often always the case of you first of all get the inducement that you are trading away from, or the liquidity grab, then you just go and look for your MSU or your range. Practice this. Like I said, there are other things that we look out for. The other confirmation that we have, like timing, right? That may not be for this video, but look at this. Clear liquidity was taken here, and then if you check, I think this particular, if you check the 4-hour time frame, you see that there was a clear order block. This was an order block that was here on 4-hour. You would have seen that this 1-hour order block coincided with there was a 4-hour order block that was here as well. Actually, my entry was a bit high, because this was a 4-hour order block. But if you check a smaller time frame, like I think 1 hour 30 minutes and all of that, you would have seen another order block that was coinciding with what was in our 4 hours here, something like this, what was in our 4 hours. And this did a 1 to 4, this is a 4.5, though for mine, my entry was a bit bigger because I was using like the 4-hour time frame. I didn't want to miss that, and that gave me like a 1 to 3, something like that, right? So the same strategy, right? You first of all see a clear inducement we're trading away from, and that was it. Price has taken this price took that particular low for me. After price took the low, I know that we're working within a range, so there was a range we were working with, and all I needed to do was to see what you guys, some of you call MSU and all of that, weighted price came here, and that was it. I didn't need to do too much. That was it. Very, very quick, very, very fast trade, very, very easy. And I want to say this again. You will see how that I didn't have to disturb myself with a lot of things. I needed the market to just give me something as simple as possible, and that's what you should do if you want to be profitable. You are not a graphic designer. You are here to make money. Stop looking for what is not lost. If it is not clear, I tell my students, don't trade it. Clear liquidity grab that was taken here. Clear, MSU pattern that you mentioned, but the other things I look at for, like timing and all of that, range and all. So you just see that it was very, very clear. It was very, very simple, and that was what we did. So I'm going to show you the results for this particular, those two trades. We did a total of about $4,000 on each of them. That's about 6 million in naira. Let's see. Yeah, this is my 6 million in naira. This was the one we did for ADNZD. This was a trade. Yeah, I closed ADNZD trade here with about 2 million naira. I think I should have the. Let me see if I have the analysis here. Yeah, so this was it. Yeah, you could see that it was moving at some point. I didn't wait till final tip. I did a short video on that, and then we now did for the other trade, which was NZDCHF. I had about 4 entries for that, and we made a total of 4 million naira on that particular trade on like 5 different accounts, right? So yeah, you can see that this was like 5 different accounts, both naira and dollar, and we did that. So yes, very simple. You can see the application of the smart money concept strategy that I mentioned. Like I have mentioned, I don't trade smart money concept, I trade liquidity circle, right? But I mean, you can find its application. The most important thing again is to locate the inducement you are trading away from. That is, find your liquidity gap. It has to be clear. Once your liquidity gap has been clear, you can now combine it with the range or the MSU. And for me, I also combine it with timing, which is a very important confluence. Once you have all of this, I don't think you have any problem with your trading. I hope this video helps you. If it does, please like, subscribe, comment, share with your guys, and expect more trading videos on this. Thank you.